What's up, crypto crew, and welcome to another episode on freemoneycrypto.com. My name is Dave, and every day on this channel I show you ways to make free money and crypto assets by simply using new technologies. So if you like making free money in your spare time, make sure you mash that like and subscribe button. In today's episode, we're going to give you a step-by-step walkthrough on how to create eBay listings. We'll specifically be using digital football cards for these listings, but these can apply to just about any type of item you want to sell. So let's jump right in. So I'm going to be doing this on the computer on this video. That is the easiest way to list cards in my opinion, or to list anything on eBay. The app does work okay, but there's still a lot of kinks to be worked out. A lot of times it does not give you all the options for the item specifics that you need to list in order to have your listing pop up at the top of the search results. So it's always better to use the computer if you have one available. At a later date I'll make one for the app as well so that you can see a video for the app. But if you have a computer, I do recommend using the computer. Once you get some listings created, the easiest way to create a listing is just to click on a similar listing. So if I wanted to list another digital Patrick Mahomes or digital Joe Burrow, since he's right there, then I'd just click on one next to the Joe Burrow and hit sell similar. And that would take me to a page where all the item description is already filled in. Everything's pretty much already filled in. I just have to change the few details for that specific card. But if you're creating one from scratch, then you'll want to go up to that tab, create listing, and go to single listing, and that'll bring you to a screen that looks like this. Once you know exactly what you want to sell, you'll simply type the name in up top. Now with digital cards, I always like to list the first words in it as digital card. You do have to determine how you want to list your cards. I prefer to do it this way because I don't want there to be any misconception about what I'm selling. There's already enough confusion where people have trouble reading the title, looking at the pictures, reading the description. So I try and make it as simple as possible to put digital card there. Now for my sports cards, I also like to alphabetize them, and I alphabetize them by first name because that's the way eBay is going to alphabetize them once I type them in. So digital card being the first word in every listing is always going to pop up under D, but then after digital card, what comes next is going to be whatever player I'm listing. In this particular case, I'm going to be listing a Chase Claypool, and this is a select numbered to 10. And I'll show you the card real quick. Let me pull that up. So this is the card that I'm going to be listing for this. It's numbered 5 of 10. It's a 2020 select rookie. And I'm going to go ahead and type in as many details about it as I can. Now you do want to try and use as many keywords and details as you can in the title to make sure it pops up when people are searching for it. But this is going to be Chase Claypool, and I'm going to put rookie here. Actually, since I have to put digital card in there, RC is probably all I can squeeze in there. I'll go 2020 select, numbered 5 of 10, Pittsburgh Steelers, RC. And I'm going to see if I can't fit the whole word rookie here. I think it's going to let me here. So I'm going to list that exactly like that. And it'll say start with this title. I click on that. And it should slowly pop up for me. While I'm waiting on it, I'll go ahead and take a couple pictures. Now I'm doing this on BlueStacks. If you're doing this on your phone, you can obviously just screenshot the card there. But on BlueStacks, you have this little button here that's take screenshot. You want at least 4 pictures. So I go ahead and take 2 on the front and then flip it over, take 2 on the back. And the reason you want 4 pictures is just so it'll show up in the eBay and Google search results better. If you have less than 4 pictures, I've been told that it does not show up nearly as well. So I always put 4 in there. And then under condition, you do always want to be as absolute honest as possible as you can about your condition. Now in my physical card store, I scan all the cards in so you can get a real good picture of what that card looks like. And unless if I see something specific on the card that you cannot see in the scan, I usually just have a description there that says please see scan for condition details. But for this, and I'll even refer back to my other listings, that's another beautiful thing about having created listings. Then I'm just going to copy digital cards stay in mint condition for all time, and we'll post that in here. But do make sure that you put that in your description, whatever fits the description for whatever you're selling. Make sure it is accurate. And you do even have a new option there under some things, just not under this. So I'm going to go ahead and add my photos and just click on the plus button there. And if you hold the control key, you can highlight all 4 of them at the same time. Vice versa, you can also just highlight them like that. Hit open. and that'll bring them all into here. While I'm waiting on those to load up, I usually scroll down a little bit, and usually it'll automatically add these in this area, and you have to click a button that says accept all, but it looks like it's already automatically added those for me here. So I'm going to go through the specifics here and just make sure you check off as many of these boxes as possible, because you do want to make sure that you have everything listed. So I'm going to click on graded, no, and you don't have to fill anything in for grade since there is no grade there. Football, make sure you click on here first and then click the add button. For some reason, if you try to click add first, it will not add it up here. It'll just leave it stuck spinning. This will be mint condition because it is a digital card, so it's not going anywhere. And let's type in Chase Claypool here, and same deal here. If I go to hit add, oh, it did add it there. So a lot of times if it's suggested it for you, I guess, and it throws the name down here, you usually have to click on the name and then click out and then hit add in order for it to add in. But it seems like it did it there. Same thing with this. You want to make sure and click on it and then click add. And I'm going to put RC for rookie. I'm going to put serial numbered and short print. So one thing I almost forgot to add to this one is digital. You do want to add that if you are selling digital cards like me. Make sure you check off digital in the features here. And you also want to scroll back up and check your listing here. So if you notice, I already cropped one of these photos, and I usually like to leave the first photo, which is going to be the main photo that shows up in eBay search results, as the uncropped photo, because I want you to see the entire digital thing here. That way there's no mistaking, or there shouldn't be any mistaking that this is a digital card. Now people do still mistake it all the time, but all the more reason I do not crop the initial photo. I usually crop the other two. That way I do have 4 different photos, but they all still look like digital cards, especially the first one that you're looking at. And in order to crop them, you just click on the photo, click this little crop button here, and if you're using something different than digital cards, then you do want to crop it as close as possible. That way people have as good of a picture as they possibly can. Sometimes it does take a minute or two to save that image, but once it's saved, you're good to go. And those are my 4 pictures right there. So you got 2 cropped and 2 uncropped, and that's the way you do that. And that should be good on that. Pittsburgh Steelers, hit add, and I'm going to type Chase Claypool here. Now if you notice up at the top, right up here, you'll see where 6.1 million recent searches for these details. The more details you put in, the more searches it's going to pop up under. So if you notice, that blue bar just went up a little bit more, and if I add in a card number, that should complete it. Let's put 5 there, and boom, now it's going to show up in 6.1 million searches. So then I'm going to go back over to my other card here, and I will go into the revised page so that I can actually get the HTML settings. Now, under normal circumstances, if you're just starting out, you can just type out whatever your description you want it to be. I usually have the same description for almost every card. And if you go under advanced editing, you can change the font, you can have bold parts, you can have different colors for the font. But if you notice here, I do have different colors and all that stuff, but if you want an embedded video like that, an embedded YouTube video, then you have to do it under the HTML tab, and we'll show you that in a different video if you do want to embed videos in there. But under HTML is just your computer text, and it's going to put that in there, and then once you put it in there, you click back on standard and it converts it all for you. So that gives you my full description there, and we're going to scroll past that. Now one thing you do want to do is hit your mobile friendly checker. I know it's going to come up okay for me because I use this description and many other things, but in normal circumstances you do want to hit your mobile friendly checker to make sure it is showing up correctly even if they're using a cell phone. Now for this, since it's a digital card, Chase Claypool had a good year last year, but it's not a physical card. So I'm going to set the price at, let's say, $99.99, because in 5 years time, if Chase Claypool keeps playing well, then I expect that card would be worth at least $100. Now today that card's probably worth closer to $20 or so, but that's okay. Someone can make me an offer on it. I can decide whether or not I want to take that offer now, or whether or not I want to hang on to it for 5 years, and that'll be my choice. And if you do want to turn offers off, you just take that off right there. Now there's a couple different trains of thought on how to list your eBay things, and it really just depends on what you're selling and how you want to sell it. A 7-day auction, or a 10-day auction for that matter, you can even do them in 1, 3, and 5-day auctions if you like, is likely not going to bring you nearly as much money as a fixed price. For me, for sports cards, I'm not in a hurry to sell these items. They can sell in 1 day, they can sell in 180 days. It's not going to make any difference to me. I'm usually trying to get to the price that I want to sell it for, because usually I bought that card with a sell price in mind. And that sell price, like I said, can be 6 months down the road. A lot of times, like right now, it's the beginning of football season. I might be buying cards of players who I think are going to have a fantastic year. So I'm buying them right now, and I might be listing them on my eBay store right now, but I might not necessarily be looking to sell them right now because the market hasn't picked up on the great season that I'm predicting is going to happen this year. So I have to wait a few months for that great season to happen so that I can actually sell them for the price that I want to sell them for. Now, you have to determine what's best for you. That's what I do in my particular case. But the good news is there are tons of different options here. If you want to do an auction, all you do is click on where it says format and go under auction style, and it'll give you all those different options of how many different days you want to list that auction for. 10 days are the biggest ones, and Sunday nights are usually the best time to list it. Main reason being is because more people are on eBay on a Sunday night than any other day of the week. So if you did want to do a 7-day auction, then it's good to list it on 7 days and start it on a Sunday evening. That way next Sunday it's going to end on that evening. If you want to make it go as long as it can, you can go a 10-day auction. I don't know that it helps that much. Honestly, I seem to have better luck with 7-day auctions than I do 10-day auctions, but I rarely run auctions. Most of mine are usually going to be fixed price. If you do an auction, you have an option to put a buy it now price on there. It does cost you extra if you put a buy it now price on there, and that buy it now price disappears as soon as somebody puts in a bid. So if you're doing it at a starting bid of 99 cents with a buy it now price of $99.99, you're probably wasting your money putting the buy it now price on there, because this is going to disappear as soon as somebody bids 99 cents. Much, much, much more likely that someone's going to put a bid on it before they're going to hit buy it now. So I usually, if I am doing an auction, don't put that there. I like to start my starting price low. That way I might have a bidding war between multiple buyers. And I never, and I do mean never, put a reserve price on anything. Now that's just me. Usually if I'm selling something and I'm selling it at auction, I know that I can come up short, and that's fine. But people generally do not bid on auctions that have reserve prices. And that's just the fact of the matter. People don't want to guess what your reserve price is. They can't see it there. Nobody's going to bother wasting their time. They usually just skip right past anything with a reserve price. So unless if there's something that you want to sell, I would actually recommend just going with a higher starting price. So if you didn't want to accept any lower than $100 on it, I would start your starting price at $99.99 and just do away with reserve price altogether. You're more likely to get more bids that way. That's just my personal opinion. You can try it out, see if you agree with that. But I'm going to switch this back to fixed price, because that is how I'm going to end up listing this card. And I'm going to list it at $99.99 with the best offer option. So like I said, people can buy it if they want to. Now you can change your quantity here, and usually on my main card store especially, usually if I'm listing cheaper cards, I'm trying to buy cards that I can buy in mass quantity. So like in 2018 I bought 100 Patrick Mahomes Sage Hit rookies for like $3, and I got very lucky with those because we didn't know exactly how great Patrick Mahomes was going to be yet, and I ended up selling those for anywhere between $5 and $20 a piece. Matter of fact, I just sold another one this morning for $30, and that was one that I bought after I'd sold the original 100 because, well, they keep selling. So you can change the quantity there if you have multiples of the same thing. Just make sure if you do that, note in your description that that's not a picture of the exact card. That is a stock photo. And then you also have an option to make listings private. Now, I don't personally like to make listings private, just because I like to be able to go back and see on people's feedback. Under the feedback section, you can actually click on the item number and see what people purchased or what people sold, and that's what they mean by making listings private. It also keeps the buyer's name hidden if they place a bid on it, and that's perfectly fine. So I do like to require immediate payment with buy it now. I recommend that for anyone who is creating listings because it can be quite annoying if somebody hits a buy it now and they don't intend to pay you for 7 days. I used to not do that, but then I had someone purchase a $800 graphics card for me and let it sit, and I had to let it sit for 5 days before I could even, cancel the order. Otherwise, eBay would get mad at me. So now I require immediate payment with buy it now. If you're not looking to pay now, then you shouldn't be clicking buy it now, in my opinion. Sales tax, it will automatically charge for you if you're in a state that does so, and I usually just let it do that. You can change that if you want to. If you want to do it like South Carolina sales tax at 7%, and also apply it to shipping and handling. So you can do that how you want to. I usually just leave it blank and let it do its thing, and it does charge that for you. So return options, if you want to be a top rated seller like on my physical card store I am, then you do have to accept returns. Or actually, I think they just changed that to where it is optional, but you used to have to accept returns up to 30 days and usually have to pay for the shipping as well. I never get returns on my main store. Matter of fact, the only place I have cancellations or returns is on this digital card store because people cannot read. They can't look at pictures. They just hit buy and they don't realize that they're purchasing a digital card. It can be quite frustrating, but you do sell quite a few as well, so it's not the end of the world. And you have different options on who will be paying the return shipping, all that good stuff. So I'm going to leave the returns off because this is a digital item. I'm not accepting returns on that. And another thing you want to consider is your shipping. So I like to do free shipping with these because it is a digital card after all. I'm not actually shipping you anything, so there's no point in charging you for shipping. Now if you're selling physical cards, then you can do them a bunch of different ways. You can go with the standard envelope. You can go with first class mail. First class mail is usually what I use for larger items that are going to be over 1 ounce really, if it's anything more than 1 card, or sometimes I'll ship 2 cards in an envelope as well. But if it's anything more than that, I usually go first class mail and a bubble mailer. It's going to cost between $3 to $3.50 depending upon where you're sending it. The eBay standard envelope is 51 cents, and you can put 2 cards in there. It's still only 1 ounce. I don't charge a shipping charge, but I used to on my main store. So I used to charge $3.99 for everything and ship everything in a bubble mailer. That's the best way to do it in my opinion. You can calculate shipping if you want to. I don't particularly like to do that, but you choose how you want to do that. Handling time, if you want to be a top rated seller, then you need to be handling it either the same business day or within 1 business days. Now, the option of 2 business days or more is good if you are not planning on being a top rated seller. But much like the item description, you just want to be as honest as possible about how quick you're going to get to it. I always like to use the old adage of overpromise, underpromise, overdeliver. I'm sorry. So, if you say 3 days handling time and then you ship it out in 1 day, nobody's going to be mad at you. But if you say 1 business day and then it takes you 3 days, people are likely going to be mad. So, my opinion, if you're not going for a top-rated seller badge, then go ahead and put 3 or 5 days on there. That way, if you ship it out same day, everyone's happy. If you ship it out later, nobody's mad. But I'm going to leave mine on same business day there. And for digital items, you are not allowed to do international shipping. That is very important. I actually had some of my cards pulled because I had international shipping option on there. For physical cards, you are totally allowed to do international shipping. Not only are you allowed to, it's highly recommended in my opinion, because eBay has it set up now to where it doesn't even cost you anything extra for international shipping. So when I started doing this in 2008, and even up until just a couple years ago, you still had to pay extra for international shipping. It was a giant pain. Back originally, I used to have to go down to the post office, fill out customs forms, all this nonsense. Nowadays, eBay has relay centers that you ship it to, and it costs you the exact same amount as domestic shipping would, and then they take it from there. You don't have to worry about anything else. So I usually do have international shipping on non-digital items, but on digital items, you're not allowed to do international shipping for some reason. You have to sell it only on the eBay site that you live in. After that, you can scroll down, and I like to promote my listings, and it usually gives you a suggested ad rate. I usually just roll with whatever that suggested ad rate is, and it's going to charge you a percentage of the final value fee. Now, unfortunately, you add that to the 12.35% or whatever it is that eBay is charging on your closing fee, you're going to end up paying close to 20% to eBay by the time it's all said and done. So you don't have to do this, but if you want your items to move faster, in my opinion, it is worth it. So that just about covers it. If y'all have any questions, please let me know down below. If you like the video and want to learn more about this type of stuff, make sure you mash that like and subscribe button, and we will see you on the next video.